Welcome to my Saturday morning midlife crisis where cartoons are out, coffee's in, and adulthood is the plot twist nobody asked for. I'm Austine.
And I'm Alex.
So I was super behind on Daredevil.
You were. So that means we're going to our second topic here, which means it's our Daredevil Born Again review topic.
Yeah.
So this is part 1. So we are just going to go over season 1 right now because that is
Born
what...
Again.
Yes, season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, since that is what Austine has caught up to. Next week we will go over season 2, Born Again. So where I have already finished and I want to talk about it so badly, but all day today you were watching it and I think I called you like 3 times to be like, oh, where are you now? Where are you now? And I
was having meltdowns.
You were, and it was fantastic. I loved it.
Wasn't prepared. I had, because I've been following socials, there's a couple of spoilers that had already made its way to me. So I knew Foggy was going to die, but because I hadn't watched season 3, I didn't know if it was going to be then or in this one. And I think it was like less than 9 minutes into the show. It's like the first, technically, because you have all of the previews of the, saying all the actors.
The opening credits.
The opening credits, yes, thank you. So that takes a few minutes. It was probably the first 4 minutes of the show. Foggy has to die.
Yeah. And
he was looking good. He looked so good.
Foggy Bear.
Foggy Bear looked so good. And then he died. And I had the feeling that I thought Bullseye was going to kill him in season 3 at some point. So I'm not surprised that it was Bullseye that actually ended up taking him out.
You kept asking me while you were watching season 3, you're like, is this the one? Is this where Foggy's going to die? Is Foggy going to die here? Don't tell me this is where Foggy's going to die. This is where it's going to die.
I was prepared. But then I wasn't prepared, and I just...
With a character like Foggy, you can never be prepared for something like that.
Not at all.
And how it happened, not that it was like this crazy way of happening, but it was... He wasn't in any immediate danger at that time. We weren't really expecting anything to happen at the moment. It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. It was quick. Daredevil lost control and threw Bullseye off the roof, and I was very confused for a few seconds. And so I'm glad that you made the connection for me. So at the end of season 3, we see Bullseye getting spine surgery because Fisk threw him against the wall and definitely broke his back. What was really good is that you helped connect me to the reference, because I would have missed it. And so when he went off the roof, and so it was a reference to, you were talking about Wolverine and...
Yeah, so he does have adamantium put into his spine. So he does have nerve damage, so he doesn't really feel too much pain. He still feels pain, but, not as much.
But I guess for me, all of my emotions, like when I think about it, so all of that happened. It was a lot. Daredevil clearly wasn't his self in that. And then he threw him off the building.
And then the show slows down.
And the show slows down and it jumps a whole year. And so for me, I felt like I didn't have time to process. So it's like they jumped a year. They've been dealing with this for a year, their emotions, right?
Yeah.
And Daredevil basically puts away the mask. He's not Daredevil anymore. He's Matt Murdock. And so... with him being Matt Murdock again, I you were asking me how I felt about those first couple of episodes, because I guess some people were like,
a lot of people.
See, I didn't mind it. I felt like it was interesting, and I'll jump ahead and jump backwards. But at the end, he says something like, I forgot who I was, or I was trying to figure out who I was, or I wasn't sure. Where I actually told you, I didn't mind it because I felt he knew who he was. He was Matt Murdock. He was not Daredevil. And he was suppressing Daredevil, but he was portraying, I am Matt Murdock. This is what I believe in. This is how I'm going to approach things, and I'm not going to let him out.
I think you'll understand that statement a bit more when you go into season 2, actually.
Okay, yeah, because it was like the end.
It was, but you're right. I felt the same way too. That he decided he was going to be Matt Murdock. He leaned into being Matt Murdock and just did that, you know?
Mhm.
He didn't really put his life on pause. He
Mhm.
still started dating, you
Mhm.
know? He continued doing his law firm stuff. So it's not like Foggy died. He's like, oh, I quit being a lawyer, you know?
Yeah.
Or the only thing he quit was being Daredevil. And you were introduced to some new characters.
Yeah. And right away, didn't like the therapist.
Yeah, you told me that right away.
I
You
was
didn't like Heather.
I'm like, I'm not here for this. Bring back Elektra. Bring back Karen as a love interest. And
Wow.
I really don't like Karen.
Yeah, you do not
I
like
do
Karen.
not like Karen.
You'd rather have Karen over Heather.
As a love interest, yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't. She didn't feel right for him. Not she just didn't feel right.
I agree with you.
Yeah, she didn't feel right. And again, by the end of the season, I'm like, see, I was right. I knew this right from the beginning, but from the beginning, didn't feel right with her. So the other character that we got introduced to was a younger man. I forget his name. But he played in the Wednesday series, which I love. And so when I saw him,
yes.
I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are yet in this Daredevil universe, but you're someone, because you're not going to bring in that actor and be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really kind of excited to see what he would be. And then you meet the political Fisk, and I guess like this new version of Fisk, Kingpin, or now Mayor Fisk.
Well, and also this new version of Mrs. Fisk,
yes.
Mrs. Kingpin.
That was a whole journey with her too. I felt for her because she was very upset with Fisk. It seemed like he left her, and he said he would not leave her, and he did, and she had to carry the load. She had to build this empire on herself, on her shoulders. And apparently she did her thing because people fell in line. Even referred to in one of the episodes as the man.
Yes.
And I loved that.
Yes.
I loved that. She's scary though. But it helps me better understand her and why they work together. They have such a dark, romantic love.
Yeah.
But one that is very much, we are together in this, and death do us part.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
And not in a obsessive way. Maybe Fisk a little bit, but not really obsessive till death do us part, like Romeo and Juliet. It's more of just we're in it together. This is our empire. We're owning all of it.
Now, what did you think of the Adam part of the story?
Well, I thought that was interesting. So if we just stay in the lane of Adam, I was not surprised. So she had an affair. I was like, oh, that guy's dead. He's gonna be a goner.
And then when you see Adam for the first time, you go,
yep,
away. Okay, yep.
I was surprised he was around. But then he's locked away, and then when Fisk loses it on him, and he's like, mine. It was like he was a 2-year-old. He was a kid, but that to me really demonstrates his character. But it was wild. But again, I wasn't surprised when she was like, "Well, you gotta go," and she killed him. She let him have it.
Yes.
So that was their dynamic is a very interesting one. And then we come to find out that she's the one that took Foggy out. You know, that was very interesting. So we'll. It was interesting. Again, was I shocked? I wasn't shocked, but it was a very good like plot twist thing, because I didn't think it was Fisk ever, because Fisk stays true to his word. Mm-hmm. He may manipulate how he presents that, but he is a person that stays true to his word, which again makes him such a complex character in the show. He wants to do good, but he's very bad. You know, he wants to present, everyone has options around him, but they don't.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. He just is a very complex character.
Love it.
Yeah.
We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
And in the jail system, which is obviously corrupt, Bullseye's locked up for the murder of Foggy.
Yeah.
As he should be.
As he should be.
And then I did get a little bit confused. So he asked for Matt to come visit him or whatever.
Yes.
Matt comes to visit him.
Yes.
And Matt loses his cool. And I could not I still am on the fence of, did Matt intentionally do that? Because
No.
Or did he just lose his cool?
He lost his cool.
Okay, so Matt loses his cool. Bullseye goes to get to the goes to get stitched up, and I just
used his tooth
to take the person out. I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of love it. It was wild. It was wild.
Just gotta love little Bullseye here.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. His tooth. I was shocked when he took him down. And then I kept thinking he's going to take out Vanessa. That's who I thought he was going to go take out. You have White Tiger that we were introduced to.
Yes.
And when I that was a moment where I was like, what is happening? Where we had to talk. Because with White Tiger, I was like, here's this great character that's starting to get played up. And then they just took him out. And I was like,
Yeah.
What the heck? Why would they introduce a character and then just take him out in the way they took him out? It wasn't a battle scene. It wasn't a fight. He was looking like he was going to do his patrol, if you will, that evening. And bam, he's gone.
I think many of the people in this room would consider White Tiger to be an ally.
And then you had Muse, who was
Muse.
a psycho. Serial killer. And you know
Yes.
how I feel about that stuff. I watch that all the time.
You
but
love it.
I love it, but he creeped me out. I didn't like that. He took the blood and made murals across the city. That was intense. Didn't love it. And then he ended up being the guy that I was saying was from Wednesday.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, he always is playing a psycho. That's concerning.
He's good at it.
He's very good at it. He was very good with it. And then he had the whole attack on the therapist, which again, I was like, when she ended up killing him, which by the way he laid on the ground was art in itself.
Yes.
How they take that picture and then
Yes.
Muse is laying. It was very interesting. It wasn't lost on me, I guess, the style of how they laid everything out. Which, again, I feel like that always it's the extra layers to the shows.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not a surface watcher. I watch everything, every part of it.
What you're saying about Muse, though, yeah, I agree with that because, again, his whole thing was about, like, using dead bodies to make art and then how, ironically, his dead body became art.
Yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh. But when the therapist, I don't even know her name.
Heather.
Heather. Oh my gosh. So
Heather. Even the name.
Heather took him out. I was like, she's bad news. She's bad news. So I don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we caught everybody up to the story, we're in the ballroom and Bullseye is going for Fisk.
No.
He was going for Vanessa.
Yes.
Yeah, he was going for Vanessa, but he's
Yes.
in there. And I am just like, Matt, at some point you gotta, I guess he's made his decision. I was going to say at some point he has to decide what he's going to do, but he has already decided. He is not going to take out anybody, and he saves Fisk and takes that bullet. Because ultimately, yes, you could argue that it was Vanessa, but it was right in front of, how he kind of moved and everything, but he took a bullet for them. Yeah. Vanessa or for Fisk, he took the bullet. Yeah. I was irate. I was like, I need a break. I can't. That's how I felt. I'm like, you cannot want to take him out, and then this isn't even you. You didn't orchestrate this. And you save him? Why? Knowing what he's going to do.
And a lot of people do feel the same way of, Matt, some people you just gotta let it happen.
Gotta let life go. Life evolve the way it's gonna evolve.
And I totally understand people's perspective on that. But a lot of people need to also realize is it's not just Fisk. Mm-hmm. It's the empire he has built. Mm-hmm. And there are very loyal people that work with him too. Mm-hmm. You take out Fisk, you took out a really big threat and someone who, you can't replace someone who thinks on the level that he thinks,
Mm-hmm.
but
Which is
you still
diabolical.
have his organization. You
Mm-hmm.
still have all of that that's going on. You take it to the court system and you can really shut it all down
Mm-hmm.
then,
Mm-hmm.
versus, you know, you just taking Fisk out and then letting someone else take his place then.
Yeah, and that's true. And you know how much I love like all my Law and Order, my crime
Yeah.
shows. So I do like that side of Daredevil. That's
Yeah.
the part where I feel like justice is served. So I feel that. I think it's just that balance, trying to figure out that balance. And there's
When is enough enough?
and so many of the characters in Daredevil have that very like it's enough kind of deal.
Yes.
You know,
But actually, I think that's a good point that you say that, because Stick is very someone that's like, no, this is enough. Elektra, no, this is enough.
The Punisher.
No, this is enough. And even Karen goes back and forth of like,
this
Matt,
is enough.
This is enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's also just the fact that he's surrounded by that all the time that again, you have
He's
the
the
devil talking
yeah.
on your shoulder, and it's
mm.
easy to take that road. It's easy to take that road, but you know.
And I like that you say that, because I guess that is part of what I like about him is he stays true to who he is
in his faith.
In his faith, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I very much like that. So again, we talk about all the Marvel stuff of like why I like it. It's because there's so many of these multi-layers to all of the characters.
Yeah.
And there's something, especially with like obviously the hero side of things, something you can take from that.
Yeah.
He is not going to let somebody push him to that line. He may get to that line, but he knows where that line is, and he's not going to cross it. And I do respect that.
Absolutely.
So he gets taken out, and
he takes the bullet for Fisk.
He takes the bullet for Fisk, and then he ends up being at home, and that's where Frank comes in. I had a moment of, is this Bullseye or not? Because it was a dark shadow.
Yes.
But then it was like a second of that feeling, and then I was like, oh, it's Frank. And I loved it so much. And then when he said, I made a promise I'd get you out safe, I knew Karen was back.
Yes.
Like it's obvious because of their rapport and relationship, and I was so excited. That whole scene,
that fight in there,
it was so good. And but right before when Frank's like, "Are you gonna put some clothes on?" Like,
he's like, "Are you gonna fight with your ass hanging out?"
It was so funny. But I loved that whole scene. It was so good. Great dynamic, great back and forth. And then Fisk kind of taking the police commissioner and doing what Fisk does and took him out in front of everybody. That was brutal.
That was crazy.
That was on the level of the car door.
That was worse than the car door, because the car door, you knew what happened.
He was angry.
Well, not just angry, but like the car door, you knew what happened, but you didn't see the end result.
Yeah, it was wild.
You saw the end result of this one, and it was bad.
It was bad, and you saw his brutality, his strength,
and then his calmness. How he took his handkerchief out
and just
wiped it, took the sweat off his forehead, and any questions?
It was wild. It was wild. And I think like when you think of like that juxtaposition of like a character like that, when you think about like a villain or a evil villain, a lot of times you think that they have some like superpower, it's just, he is just him. Mm-hmm. And that is his power. Mm-hmm. And so that was wild.
We will keep this city safe.
And when we see that final back and forth with Daredevil trying to form his team.
Yep, he says we got to build an army.
And love all those people. Not sure that they're the right army.
I know. I know.
I was like, what are we doing?
That's the one part of. So a lot of people talk a lot of crap about this particular season for random different things that I'm just like.
I thought it was a great season. They shouldn't talk crap.
They shouldn't. But they have. But I will say that last shot though was one where I was just like, Okay.
I know,
We
I
got
was like-
Josie. You got you got one police officer, but you also got a retired police officer.
Well, they had a couple cops in the back.
Yeah.
They might, at that point, there was a moment in my head, very cynical me, was like, where's Miss Marvel? You should have just brought Miss Marvel. You've already referenced her in the season. Just add her in the back of the bar.
Matt's
Like, we're
already
taking-
met with She-Hulk. Give her a call. He knows the Defenders. Where are they?
Yeah,
You
I was
know.
like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was just very, because what made it worse, I think, because it wasn't, it would have been different if they were all just in the bar and they were all just talking, and then they all went, all right, we're gonna team up together, and we're gonna,
Yeah.
Matt, we got your back, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would have been different, but what they decided to do was, it was an intimate moment between Matt and Karen, and then Matt being like, all right, we have to build an army, and then Karen's like, well, we already got started on it, and then opens the sliding door, and it to like reveal
The
who the army, and it's Josie, you know, from the bar.
Now, in it, even though we're like making fun and stuff, there was like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's
Yes.
Josie's bar. I loved that it was there.
Yes,
That
being
was
at Josie's bar was a
perfect,
very
perfect scene
Yes.
choice. And I like that the point is it's the people.
It's the people of
So-
New York.
And I get that. And
Yes.
so it's not lost on me what they were trying to do. But
Right.
there was humor in that where
There
I was
was.
like,
It's like, you
what
realize
the
what
heck?
Fisk can do, right? Like,
we just saw him take out the popo. Like, you're going to bring Josie. Okay, this is great.
Is that a new costume? What do they call you now? Nightgown man?
thanks again, everyone, for watching. But yeah, you could follow us at Austine and Alex. We are on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.